Good evening. Good evening to all of our awesome Jubi Rev, Jubi Max family members. Apology, we're getting started just a little bit late, and I do apologize for being just a tad bit tardy. Number one, and it looks like Queen is not on with me up to this point. Now, she may be running behind herself, and she normally takes care of my audio. So what I'm going to do is you're going to hear some, you're not going to hear anything for just a few moments as I go to set up our audio recording so we can audio this. Then we'll come back, we'll take some introductions. So go on and put your name and tell us who you are and tell us where you're from in the box, and then we'll get with our training. I want to do a little bit of talking about where we're headed as a team. Some of you watch some of the YouTube videos. I want to make sure that you are starting to understand what we're going to do to assist you so that you can get to your max team and then start to get all these bonuses that we've been all excited and talking about. And then we'll get into questions and answers. So the bulk of tonight is going to be questions and answers. First thing I need to do is set up the audio recording. So give me just a moment. I'll be back in just a few moments. Okay. Hey, Queen, are you with me?
I am, and I'm not. We had a thunderstorm. My electricity is out. My phone is almost dead. I don't have any problems.
Everybody okay there? Everybody okay?
Everybody's fine. Everybody's great. It's just I was trying to find my little thing that goes to the car. So if I find that, then I'll be with you, but I won't be able to see the questions to ask.
Okay. I understand.
Hello, everybody.
Thank you. I hope we're okay on the recording. I hope so. I tried to do it, so I hope we're okay. We'll see. And Queen, if you can't stick around, I certainly understand that. Thank you for your commitment, given what's happening there.
You're welcome. Okay.
All right. Okay. So I'll just do, excuse me, some quick hellos to everyone. We'll just do this very quick because we are running a little bit behind here. Anthony B, how you doing, buddy? Alice, Foy, man, please don't beat me up. Please don't beat me up. Please don't. Fred, Zeke and Jerry, Dallas, Foy, don't worry about that 15th. I don't think that. I've asked him to not to even do that until we get through some of these the enhancements and what have you. Foy, don't beat me up. I'm sorry, man. John, Dennis, Brandy, George, and Marin from Australia. Welcome. Kirk, Arian, Vicky from Vegas. Vicky, I was in the middle of sending you a Skype there and then had to get on the webinar, so I have to come back to you on that. Isaiah from Cambodia. Michael, Clarence, Mark, Alan, Robert, Anthony, welcome. Let's see. Mary, Deborah, Sam, Mark, Vince from Vegas, Sharon in Maryland, Carol Keen from Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome. Aubrey, welcome. And unfortunately, I can't get to everyone. Please forgive me. We're already running behind here. Let's start off. I can tell you what you can do is if you have questions, you can go and start putting those in the questions box. What I want to do is just kind of lay a groundwork for where we are headed. Now, obviously, we now know, as we've had several webinars, that the revenue sharing model, as we've come to love and adore, is that revenue sharing model, as is, will not stand up long term in the U.S. Of course, we've talked about that for the past few weeks. There still is going to be the DOB. Obviously, the rewards are down. The character is going to change as we get into the new enhancements. The company won't be putting as much percentage-wise, though I do strongly anticipate that we'll see revenues going back up company-wide because the percentage that will go into the DOB, that will be going into the DOB, will be lower. I don't expect to see days of 0.013, 0.0127, or anything like that. So to be honest with you, as a presenter and as a promoter, if I can't have revenue the way I wanted to have revenue, and knowing that it can't be the central part of the compensation plan, if it were up to the attorneys, it'd be wiped away right now. But obviously, that jive with everyone who came aboard and made their purchases and did the right things to score their points or what have you. That's one of the reasons why the company has lengthened the points for everyone. Whatever points you have by tomorrow, and based on your rank, your points are going to be grandfathered. If you are, what is it? Give me a moment. If you are Jade, my gosh, it's been long days, long nights here the last few days. If you are Jade, your points will extend by another 4 months. If you are Ruby, those points are going to extend by another 6 months. If you are Emerald, the points are going to extend by another 8 months. And if you're Diamond, another 12 months. Now, please, don't go out and say, oh, okay, well, let me go on and go from Emerald to Diamond just for that reason. Because what I don't want you to do is put out any more money than what is necessary, what you are already doing, what you are already comfortable doing. I'll give you a good example. I know someone sent me an email today where someone was, obviously concerned about points and the money's being earned on the points and so on and so forth. And this is what they said. They said, I borrowed X amount of money, so I could purchase. And part of me, I read their situation and my heart went out for them, but the other part of me was really ticked off because we have hammered home again and again and again. Only purchase what your resources allow. Purchase as much as your resources allow, but only purchase what your resources allow, and do not go and borrow. We have said that time and time again. So to hear that someone borrowed 4 figures so that they can make a purchase, really, to be honest with you, ticked me off, because we have told, please don't do that, don't do that. This is business, and business is traditional, non-traditional, network marketing, non-network marketing. One of the things in business is sometimes you've got to make modifications. They're not always nice, they're not always fun. This has not been the last few weeks, has not been a fun period, but this is what entrepreneurs deal with as they are dealing with entrepreneurship. The fact that you've got to be flexible and that you should never put yourself in a situation or never put your family in a situation, no matter how much you're looking to build your business, that it hurts you for today. You've got to make sure you take care of today so that you can see, walk into your tomorrow. Okay, very, 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 very important. Now, have I made that mistake plenty of times in the past? You better believe it, which is why we echo that so much. Now, with all of that being said, the compensation plan, ladies and gentlemen, that we will have is just I won't say drop dead. It's sexy, okay? It's curvaceous, and I hope I don't offend anybody by saying that. Not just the $1,000 bonuses and the $10,000 bonuses. Obviously, that's extremely, extremely appealing. Those 25% matches that the company just put in, if you personally enroll someone, you got 3 personally enrolled, you get a 25% match, not just on the fact that they're maybe made a $50 sales commission or $100 sales commission, but you match their $1,000 bonus, that's huge. You match their $10,000 bonus, that's extra huge. And then when the company put a 25% match in your Max team, that is amazing, because in time, you could have tens, you could have hundreds, you could have thousands of folks that are born from your Max team that you match 25%. So any of those folks, as they go on and they get their bonuses, monies, their $1,000 bonuses, their direct sale commissions, their $10,000 bonuses, you could be matching tens, hundreds, and times thousands. This compensation plan is just absolutely curvaceous. Now, with that being said, in order for us to maximize that compensation plan, then we need to start to build a team. The days of simply purchasing Jubi bucks or dollars or bids or advertising and earning on those. I know there are other companies out there that are running those types of systems. I will tell you, it was 3 weeks ago today when I spoke with that consultant, And yes, it was depressing those 3 weeks ago, and I've had 3 weeks now to process it, but those just will not work long term. Now, again, I know many of you may have positions in some of those, and I will never, ever, I promise you, I will never rain on your entrepreneurial parade. I'll never, put you on the, judge you for anything you're doing. I'll never do that. I'll never do that, because all you're trying to do, all I've tried to do is take care of my family and take care of my following, okay? What I will tell you is that if you are part of any of those other types of systems, if they're not making the same type modifications, then just be careful promoting it, because chances are either that company is going to run into issues, whether or not they're doing things right, or are they simply taking money from the new folks to pay off the old folks because there's no commitment to customers, or if they're operating in the U.S., they very well could run into some regulatory issues. I don't want that to happen, but I just know what I now firmly believe. Ladies and gentlemen, had I thought on August the 17th, after speaking with a particular consultant who I will not throw under the bus, if I had thought that this model did not have long-term viability in the U.S., we'd have done something different way back then when that Z company closed down. But I don't regret the fact that based on what he told me, I regret that I didn't know the information I know now, but based on what he told me, and based on the fact that we felt like it was just that one company didn't dot some I's and cross some T's, that this model was viable, I don't regret the fact that we tried again for the sake of not only ourselves but our teammates, our Joe and Susie averages. Now, with that being said, we turned the page, and yes, we could just say, okay, let's go and build, Jubi with the great bonuses and so on and so forth. But again, I understand, however, that we've got a large segment of our following that for 2 years you heard you didn't have to recruit a sponsor. And so now we got to get back into, okay, let's go and build. But now the question is, how do I build? If I haven't been successful at it before, how do I build? And that's where we as a leadership team, we have to come and show real leadership. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing right now. Now, so here is our vision. Number one, one of the things I had to do is I had to look back at my own experiences and see, how have we been successful? And I went way back to when we were not successful from 1994 to 1999. And then what allowed us to start seeing some successes when at the turn of the century, if you will, 2000, 2001. Well, what happened was I had no influence, very little influence, I should say, in my warm market when I first got in this industry. I was a kid. I hadn't had any successes or wins and so on and so forth. So not many people listened to me. So it was tough when we first got out of the gate. Many of you can probably connect with that. Okay, so we were taught to do warm market. The problem was I didn't have a lot of influence in my warm market. What changed? What changed for me is that I did get a chance to, I started trading in the stock market, got really good at trading in the stock market. Someone believed in me. I didn't believe in myself at the time to that degree. Someone believed that I had a skill set to be able to teach people about trading in the stock market. He was an accountant in my local area. He invited me to do a stock market workshop for some of his clients, and it was a big hit. So I leveraged a mentor. Please write this one down. I leveraged a mentor. I leveraged someone that already had influence. I leveraged someone that already had influence because I didn't have any myself at the time. All right, so now, once I then provided value for the following, once I provided value for his clients, then that allowed me to start to build a little reputation in the area. Now remember, the church that I attended at the time was one of the larger churches in our town, about 2,000 members, and my pastor got up in the pulpit, one of the services, and he said, "Hey, have you guys been to T. Lamont's stock market class? You guys need to get to his class. It is absolutely dynamic." Because he had come, I think his wife had come, his daughter had come to one of my classes, and so that gave me instant credibility. So then when I got back into network marketing after a 2-year hiatus, from 1999 to 2001, I was out of network marketing. When I got back into network marketing, I now had some influence. So now when I first got back into network marketing, I was promoting a company called International Teamworks Incorporated, ITI, with the Finger brothers. Some of you may know Stuart and Steve Finger, and a guy named Lenny Davis, who was also one of the owners. We saw really our first successes from the standpoint that we were starting to build a team. I had been with a company before where I saw some checks, but nothing major. Now we started to build a team, and in, I think, the space of 9 months, we built a team of about 500 folks, and that was really, really big for me. That had never happened before. Well, what happened? All right, so again, this whole last 3 weeks has been reflecting. What can we do to help our team? Reflecting. What can we do to help our team? So I have to go back and look at what our journey has been, and then some other folks to be able to share what we want to do going forward to assist you. Remember, I leveraged a mentor. Notice this. I leveraged a mentor. Leveraging that mentor, I was able to leverage his influence until such time that I was able to develop influence on my own. So we get into the industry, get back into the industry, we start having some successes. Then we meet Boomy Moore, Zick and Jerry Stewart, and that's when we had our first big splash. So that by that time now we've got influence, we have a following. We've got influence, we have a following. We go through some seasons there. We do very, very well. We have an opportunity to own a company. We struck out and started to own that company. Unfortunately, things didn't go well. After about 2 years, we basically lost everything. My wife and I and a couple of my other owners also lost virtually everything. Didn't quite make it, but we learned a lot. And then we had to kind of remake ourselves, because at that time, so many people that were following us were disappointed that the company kind of went away, and you know, we didn't quite make it and what have you. I was burned out. I was beaten up. My wife and I were able to score a real estate deal and then another business deal that gave us a little cushion. We decided to leave North Carolina, move down to Florida, really to kind of regroup, as well as I hate the cold. We also made the decision that we were going to come onto the internet, and that we were going to do more of our business on the internet, so I wouldn't have to keep going city to city to city doing presentations like I had done before. I'm going somewhere as to where we're going as a team. Now, I basically had to start from scratch. I had a few people that followed me from, you know, the older days when I was an owner of a company, but for the most part, we had to start from scratch. What we did is we decided that we wanted to come onto the internet, and I took a course by a gentleman, a tremendous internet marketer by the name of Jonathan Budd. He's extremely world-renowned and recognized for his internet marketing exploits. At that time, he was kind of getting started. He had some successes, but he wasn't the big name that he is now. And he taught a video course on YouTube. I paid $1,000 for the video course. And at the time that I paid $1,000, I really didn't have it. But we paid the $1,000 for the video course. It was worth every single penny. About a 6-week course. The problem was there was a lot of information, and I needed a refresher. So he did another refresher course. It was another $1,000, so $2,000. It was worth every single penny. Worth every single penny. Worth every single penny. The challenge is I knew that it would be tough to get any remnant of people that were following us to make a $2,000 purchase to go through his course, because they were just trying to make a living and trying to make some money, and there was no income opportunity attached to that. That was just, you know, to learn. It was worth every single penny. And so what we decided to do is we said, you know what, why don't we put together a system? One of the things I learned from Jonathan Budd was to bring value and develop your own following. And so why don't we put together a system? And at the time, we didn't have an income opportunity to share with people. We didn't have a network marketing opportunity. We didn't have really even an affiliate program. Why don't we put together a system? And I had started trading in the Forex, and we'll start doing some trainings, and we'll start building our list that way, and we'll start building a following. Hear me. This is the next thing I want you to hear. We'll start building a following, so that when that thing comes, whatever that thing happens to be, I didn't know what that thing was going to be, that company was going to be. When it comes, we'll already have people ready to join with us because of the value that we've brought to their lives. So so and that's what started to happen. Now, what our goal was to actually bring a team of mentors together that would teach various marketing methods so that we could lay before our folks a buffet of marketing methods. I love YouTube, but that is not a marketing method for everyone. It's for some people, and for the people it's for, leverage the heck out of it. But it's not for everyone. At the time, I said Queen Twitter. Her name is Frances. Many of you may not even know what her name is. You don't know Queen Twitter. I said, Frances, look, I'm going to focus on learning this YouTube thing. You pick a social media of your choice and just become, just dedicate the next few months to learning it and becoming a master. And she chose Twitter. And Queen Twitter was born. Now, some hundreds of thousands upon thousands of folks that's following her on Twitter. So what the game plan was at that time was to develop this portal and to attract people, attraction marketing, attract people because we would give such value that they would come and maybe someone would teach you about Facebook. So if you wanted to learn how to leverage Facebook, you'd learn how to leverage Facebook to teach you how to fish. Twitter, you learn how to leverage Twitter. YouTube, you learn how to leverage YouTube. And like you go into a buffet, you don't put everything on the plate. You go to the area that appeals to you the most. You go to the salad. You go to the dessert bar. You go to the meats and so on and so forth. And so that people could come in and at their own pace, if they want to pick up Facebook or Skype marketing or list building, solo ads, they would be able to learn those things at their own pace, be able to apply them at their own pace. And then ultimately the other thing that we wanted to do is we wanted people to be able to leverage mentors because maybe they were much like I was when I first got started in this industry where I had no influence with anyone. And what I did was I leveraged someone else's influence. So for instance, if you had a team of trainers that would teach about Facebook or Twitter or what have you, and then you could say, I have a team, me and my team. Write this one down. Please write this down. And I know this may not be proper English. Me and my team of global internet mentors. Me and my team of global internet mentors, or me and my team of global trainers, or what have you. I want you to master that language because that's leveraging. See, I don't know. I don't hardly have any Twitter followers. I haven't taken the time to build a Twitter following. But how many times you hear me talk about Queen Twitter, our team of global leaders? I don't know what Paul knows about getting unlimited leads, targeted leads from Facebook. He's going to show me. He's going to show you, but he's a part of my team. So when you connect with me, when you connect with our team, you're going to be able to leverage someone like Paul if you want to learn Facebook. You're going to be able to leverage someone like Queen Twitter if you want to learn Twitter. You're going to be able to leverage someone like Amber who has spent the last 8 months or so working with and doing some campaigns for one of the top internet marketer gurus, period, a gentleman by the name of Dagan Smith. Many of you know that name. And he's probably just as big, if not bigger, of a name in what he does on the internet than, let's say, a Jonathan Budd. And so Jeff, who every business that I've seen Jeff associated with, when I go to YouTube, guess whose YouTubes I see on the front page? 3 or 4 of them on the front page. Jeff White. So Jeff, do me a favor, buddy. Build a training for me so that we can offer that to people that are interested in learning how to build their teams. Okay, now follow me for just a moment. So that was the game plan years ago. What stopped it? What stopped it was a company called Zeek Rewards. We joined Zeek Rewards, and you didn't have to recruit necessarily. You didn't have to sponsor necessarily. And I will be honest with you. I lost focus on what our initial game plan was, which was to teach people how to fish. And so what happened in Zeke, Go Fun Places, Jubi, when we first got started, was you had leaders who knew how to build teams, and they went out and they recruited a lot of folks that would make purchases and would be simply content to get their daily rewards, and that's it. And we lost our focus on what our intent was. It was to teach you how to fish, and not just to give you a fish. I am of the mindset that when obstacles come your way, there are reasons those obstacles come your way. When you press through that obstacle, almost every time I've ever been dealt with what I thought was defeat or challenge or obstacles, it didn't take long before I look back and say, man, now I understand. I get it now. See, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. With the revenue sharing world the way it was, many of you that we called Joe and Susie average, you were content to remain Joe and Susie average. We didn't press you. We didn't challenge you. Your best friend loves you the way you are. Your mentor loves you too much to leave you the way you are. We didn't give you all of these tools because why? You didn't have to recruit anyway, and you were still making money, and you were happy, and we were overriding, earning on the Jubi Buck repurchases, the Lifestyle Dollar repurchases, the sample bid repurchases. So we were all cool, right? We were all going to the bank. Everybody was making some money, right? Not good enough. Because what we didn't teach you is what we did to become successful. So I come right now before you, my friend, and I ask for your forgiveness because we didn't teach you what we had done fully to become successful. I am sorry. And if you will stick with us, we will teach you. If you will stick with us. Now, when I say we, not just me, because I don't know Twitter. I'm going to be a student like you. I don't know what Paul knows about Facebook. I'm going to be a student like you. What we are going to do is we're going to bring this team of training mentors, and then what we're going to do is we're going to wrap a system around it. So this is how this is going to eventually wind up being. It's going to take some time to do all of this, and we're going to start introducing parts of this because a good plan executed today is better than a perfect plan executed tomorrow. I'll say that again. That might be worth writing down. A good plan executed today is better than is worth more and better than a perfect plan executed tomorrow. So we're not going to wait for the perfection to be in place before we start some execution here. But ultimately, when it's all said and done, what's going to happen is you're going to be able to come in. This system will not cost you a dime, okay? The system is not going to cost you a dime. You're going to be able to come in. There's going to be a number of different training modules. You'll just choose which training module you want to learn from, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, so on and so forth. Learn at your own pace. Learn how to fish, learn how to fish, learn how to fish. In time, some of you are going to combine some strategies. For instance, if I was decided that I wanted to use Facebook or I wanted to use Twitter or Skype to do some marketing, I would still incorporate some video marketing because I'm pretty good at the video stuff. So I would incorporate. So now I would combine some efforts, so on and so forth. Now, so we're going to teach you how to connect with other marketers. Here's what you and I need to understand is that 90%, if not more, 90% of the marketers out there, give me a moment. What happened? Bear with me. 90% of the marketers out there are struggling. Meaning they're not making any money or they're not making enough to really stay in business or to cover their company's auto ship or whatever. 90% are struggling. Now, do we attract these 90% by simply saying, come to my Jubi, come to my Jubi. My Jubi is better than your Visalis. My Jubi is better than your Empower Network. My Jubi is better than your whatever company. No, because they are going to be, if they love their company's products, if they love their company's compensation plan, they love their company's management, they love their company's leadership, they're going to be just as excited about their company as you and I would be about our company. So that's not how you attract them. Now, one of the things that we learned when we came onto the internet was that we needed to shift our target market. Offline, I was taught to simply make a list of 100 people and to go and start calling those folks, inviting them to the sizzle line, the conference call, the webinar, the offline, so on and so forth. The problem with that is that out of those 100 people, many of those didn't have an entrepreneurial bone in their body. My Aunt Barbara, who I love dearly, doesn't have an entrepreneurial bone in her body. She wants to keep life simple. It doesn't matter how much money she can make. She just wants to keep life simple. So if I were to call my Aunt Barbara trying to get her to a conference call, a sizzle line, or what have you, my Aunt Barbara would say no. So what would happen is by the time you call 3 or 4 or 5 of your folks on that list that may not be entrepreneurial minded, you got beaten up a little bit, people quit. And what we learned when we came online was your target market needs to be people that are already in the work-at-home space. They're already in the work-at-home niche. So, you know, they're already promoting something or looking to promote something. That needs to be our target market. But now, if you target market some folks that are already in this industry with some other company, the way to get them to join you is not necessarily to say, hey, come join my Jubi. We got these great bonuses, 1,000, 1K, 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 17 times, boom, 10K, and then 25% bonuses. If you go out to Facebook, if you go out to Skype simply saying that, you probably aren't going to have a lot of success. Now, if you have a following, and you send out an email to your list saying, hey, all these great things in Jubi, yeah, you'll probably get people to come and join you because you've already built in a following, you've already given some value, people are already listening to you. But if you are part of the NFL club, no friends left, no family left, and you're having to come up with new prospects, the best prospects are those that are already somehow engaged in our business. Now, since they're engaged in our business, they love their company too, or they like their company a lot too. And so while you're trying to recruit them into Jubi, they're trying to recruit you into their deal. So what do? You offer value. You offer something that they all want. This is why Paul is having extreme success on Facebook, because he's not leading in with a company. He's simply saying, I will show you my method, and then he gets them into his funnel, and then he gets them into his funnel. He gets them listening to him. Now, so what we're going to do is we're going to have this team of mentors. We're going to build a system around that, and essentially what's going to happen is we're going to invite people to Google Hangouts. We're going to invite people to webinars that our team will be having, that some of our mentors will be on, and they'll share some information to get people knowing that, wow, this person knows what they're talking about. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, John, for inviting me to this webinar where I could get some cool tips on Google or on YouTube. I can get some cool tips about Twitter. I can get some cool tips about this or that. We'll build a whole system around this, and then we'll be able to say, well, if you really want the whole enchilada, if you want to come into the buffet, not only can you learn from Paul about Facebook, not only can you learn from Queen Twitter about Twitter, but you can also learn from Jeff about his about video marketing. You can also learn from Amber about list building techniques and so on. Which, by the way, Amber's been selling her personal coaching, hear me, for $2,000 for a 2-hour session, and people have been purchasing it. So you can get all of these folks, or access to all of these folks in their training, if you join our team. And now it's not so much about my business is better than your business. It's I can offer you something that you want to help you in whatever business you're in. To get access to it, you can either go straight to Amber and pay her $2,000 for 2 hours. You can go to Paul and pay him $2,000 or $3,000 for personal coaching, or you can come and you can get all of that through our system, and you can pay $4,000 for the year or $350 a month for our system, or better yet, you can just join me. Join our team. And the way you do that, you purchase one of the packages, either a $550 package or a $1250 package. You purchase the package, you'll have access to our Teams training site where you can access the training and so on and so forth. That's where we're going, ladies and gentlemen. That's where we're going. So that you can start to build your list. You can start to build your following. By the way, when that person wants to hook up with you, they're going to wind up being in your list. They're going to be a part of your following. They're going to be in your list, your following. So you can start to develop the relationship and build your own following. I'll end with this. So I had a conversation yesterday with a buddy of mine in this industry. He's not promoting Jubi, but I had a conversation with a buddy of mine yesterday. And every company that I've seen him be a part of, sometimes there are some companies I've been with him in that company, whether we were in each other's organizations or not, might not have been the case, might have been sidelined. But I've seen virtually every company he's ever been a part of, he rises very quickly to the top, and he becomes one of the top personal recruiters. Becomes one of the top personal recruiters. By the way, we're not going to forsake our offline folks. There's going to be offline strategies as well. So we're not going to forsake those of you who are not internet people, okay? So in any event, I asked him in this conversation, I said, listen, if I came to you in your business and I didn't already have a following, I'm just, Joe Average, you are always at the top of the recruiting of whatever company you're in. You're always on the leaders board. What would you tell me to do? What steps would you take me through so that I could become successful? And ladies and gentlemen, he couldn't answer my question. He said, well, I would tell you to get people on the webcast or get people on the webinar. Okay, all right. Well, what if I don't have good influence with my warm market? How do I get them there? What if I don't know how to connect with people online and develop a relationship? How do I get them there? He couldn't answer the question. Now, I'm not throwing him under the bus, because then I had to think about my own self over the past few years that I had missed the mark, because the initial goal was to teach people how to fish, to bring people that we could leverage that would show folks how to fish. Now, I can't make you fish once you get the skill set. I can't make you spend the time developing that, but I can at least bring those folks to bear that will teach you. We had a mentor, a guy named Gospel Jackson. What he taught me about, along with Jonathan Budd, about YouTube, and what I applied has made me, I don't even know how much money. It's made me, I know, hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of dollars. That I know. It was worth me learning. It was worth me applying. So I can't throw this other leader under the bus without looking at myself. And so as I look at myself, I'm saying, okay, this is what we're going to do going forward, is we're going to bring this team of mentors together. They're already, we've got someone who's, now I don't know if they've started just yet, but we've got the agreements in place. Twitter. We may have a couple of Facebook folks, because there's one Facebook guy, Paul, that I've talked about, that has a specific method that he uses with Facebook. There's another gentleman that I like to refer to as king of Facebook as well. He has other methods using Facebook, but both of those gentlemen have already committed that they will start working on a video series. Paul, for instance, in his video series, he's going to actually screen capture what a session looks like for him. When he sits down and he says, I'm working Facebook to build my list, to build my following, what is he doing? So you'll be able to look over Paul's shoulder and not only have theory, not only have a PDF, not only have, hey, how to, do this and do that, but actually be able to see what he is doing, okay? What's he doing to generate leads, and how's he communicating with people as they connect with him, so on and so forth. We've already talked with Amber. The time frame as to which all of these folks that are already, Jeff will be putting together everything he knows about you, and I've asked them all, leave no stone unturned. I want your best. I want everything you know. Every little twist, every little nugget. I want everything you know. We put it in this video series. We'll have some type of portal. We'll put it in our back office, and the folks who will have access to that will be people on our team. And so if you want access to the whole kit and caboodle, you join our team. How do you join our team? You get with the person who invited you, and you join our vehicle of choice called JubiRev, Jubi Max. We've got 2 packages. If you purchase the $549 package, you're going to get access to this amount of training. If you purchase the $1250 package, you're going to get the whole kit and caboodle in terms of training. We'll also have a lot of live things like Google Hangouts where some of the mentors, and there'll be others that will probably pop up, other leaders that will pop up that will, you know, it may be several times, you know, where we just kind of get together and we share strategies and what have you, and we're able to provide these mentors, because remember, one of the ways that I was able to turn the corner in my business was I leveraged a mentor. Okay, I have gone over time that I had allotted, but I will not apologize, because I hope by now you're starting to see where we are headed. Okay, I hope by now you're starting to see where we're headed. With that being said, there's a lot of questions in here, so we're going to get to questions and answers. All right. Give me a moment. Michael Hodges was saying he loves the recorded webinar on the corporate page. Yes, the webinar that Jake Joshua did on yesterday, he recorded and put it on the corporate page. So that is there for you to see. Give me a moment. So what I'm saying, it seems like the new presentation is getting away from talking about the products. How do we plan to implement conversation about our great products in the presentation? The presentations that I've done, yes, I haven't talked as much about the products primarily because the PowerPoint isn't completed, number one. Number two, I know that in large part I'm still speaking with people that are an existing part of Jubi, okay? And because this is a modification, this is really a change of mindset for our Jubi folks, because, you know, where there's the shift, and by now you know why the shift from revenue sharing being the core of the compensation plan to it not being the core of the compensation plan. And so my focus has been, when we've done the webinars, the income opportunity webinars, to talk much more about the new enhancements to make sure people understand the A team, they understand the Max team, so on and so forth. Now, I will tell you that when I would do presentations previously, normally I'm normally not the 30-minute presentation guy. If you need that guy, you know, I don't know that I'm ever going to change, guys. That's just who I am. So somebody else will have to do the 30-minute presentation. So you guys feel free to do your own 30-minute presentations. That's just not me. But a 45-minute presentation, normally what I would do is I would spend about half that time on the products and on the services, because when we got to the income opportunity, the only part I really focused on was the DLB and just a little bit about the overrides. I never focused on other parts of the compensation plan. With the compensation plan that we have, it's not a standard compensation plan that most people are familiar with. I've seen one other company that had this type of compensation model, and we kind of modeled somewhat some parts of that from them. So this isn't like a binary where most people know where you recruit one on the left and one on the right. This isn't like just a standard unilevel. This is a little bit different, so it takes a little bit extra time. So what will happen as we refine the presentation from a corporate standpoint, and then what we share with folks, we'll get better at being able to do it and get the information in a timely setting to spend a little bit more time on the products. But that's one of the reasons why we haven't focused as much on the products. Okay, great question. Okay, give me a moment. Michael, did you see? did you see regarding YouTube? Michael, I'm not sure that I know what you're talking about. When you're asking me about my YouTube video and the whiteboard not showing, Michael, I'm not sure I know what you talk about. What you're talking about there. I do apologize, buddy. Give me a moment. Joe, let me read your question here. After paying for Diamond day one, and I additionally only paid for JG in 1 cent Sunday, CV was super important going forward. Jubi Support keeps telling me that they are working on the programming that shows me it's Jade in spite of the fact that I have 217 PQV. Are we positive that this is going to get? Okay. Someone is asking, someone has personal qualifying volume of 217, though it doesn't appear that that is coming from so much from their own personal auto ship. It looks like, if I'm reading this right, maybe you are personally Jade, and I'm assuming that you've had customer volume that got you to the 217 PQV. Here's the deal. So tomorrow, all of your points are going to be grandfathered in based on the rank that you have tomorrow. Okay. Now, Joe, if you've got that in CV or what have you, then that should not be an issue. It may be something that programming needs to make sure that you are flagged for that. But let's say that you have 217 in personal qualifying volume. Let's assume that your auto ship is less than 217, so you've got some customer volume there. You would still be considered a diamond, so that your points would be grandfathered for the 12-month period. Now, you would need to keep that rank for the full period for you to continue to have the 12 months. So if you were diamond this month, but then you became emerald next month, then those points are going to, my understanding is then those points are going to go to the 8-month calendar versus the 12-month calendar. Now, what I do not want anyone to do, all right, what I do not want anyone to do is to say, well, let me, if I wasn't already 200 PQV in terms of my own personal ownership, let me go from 100 to 200 for that additional 4 months. If that's going to cause any tightening of your budget. Now, if you got the money, that's not a problem. That's what, the company's not going to tell you to do that at all, okay? As a matter of fact, I was actually a little chastised the other day on the webinar when I asked someone's question about, well, if somebody is emerald and they decide to upgrade by Friday, can they do that? Because the company does not want any appearance that they are saying, hey, upgrade from Jade to this so that your points earn longer, okay? Very, very important. I shouldn't say I was chastised, but I was told that that was a question that they were concerned maybe didn't come across the right way or what have you. They want to make sure the answer was right. So do not go and upgrade if that was not your original intention, or if you didn't have the resources. Now, if you happen to get the customer volume and that took you to the next level, then fantastic, okay? And make sure you understand, no uncertain terms, the company is very aware that going forward, the compensation and the character of the DLB changes. At the same time, we have points. And we work the business to generate points. You make purchases to generate points. And so the company wants to honor that and to reward your efforts so that as we're in this transition where the revenue has dropped significantly, and even when the revenue goes back up, a smaller percentage is going to go into the DLB. So I don't know what the rewards per point are going to look like going forward. Now, I do know this. I know that what's going to happen also is that points are going to be awarded going forward, not just because someone purchased JubiBucks. Purchasing JubiBucks won't be the main thing that people will do. One, it's not commissionable. All right, so leaders aren't going to tell their folks to go and purchase a bunch of JubiBucks. You might purchase JubiBucks like you would brochures, as we've talked about in the past. But folks are going to be able to earn more points, so the focus is not necessarily how much did I earn on each point, but the more points I have, then the more my earnings happen to be, because I've got a gargantuan amount of points. Now, I don't know if, I think that the new points that will be earned will still be on the regular schedule, 80, 85, 95, 105 days. But for instance, I know that when someone purchases one of the new packages, the enroller is going to get points for that. So Jeff, if you recruit Sam and Sam purchases one of the packages, I believe from what I've seen, these numbers may change, you might get 1,000 points when he purchased that package. $500 package, $550 package, you get 1,000 points. He purchases the $1,250 package, you might get 2,500 points. Okay, you get a customer that makes an order. Again, don't quote me on the numbers. These are the numbers I saw, but these numbers could change. You may get 15 times the order that they made in terms of points. So what the attorneys wanted to see is that points were really earned by the behavior that would make the regulators happy. In other words, points are really earned because products were moved or products were sold. Either a customer bought something, or let's say if a new enroller purchased a product package, then points were earned not for them. See, up to this point, if you bought JubiBucks, if you bought a package, you earn points, and the attorneys are saying that gives you exposure. Now, you can reward the upline all day long, which is what has happened traditionally, but to award them points. So somebody asked me one time, well, what's the difference between our sampling and the ladies at Mary Kay sampling, or the ladies at Avon? From a compensation standpoint, one of the big differences is the Mary Kay lady, when she purchased inventory so that she could sample or sell, she didn't get points that she earned on. The Mary Kay lady that recruited another Mary Kay lady, and the second Mary Kay lady who actually was the recruit that purchased inventory, she didn't get points, but her upline got a commission. That's the difference. We were getting points that we were earning on for purchase, and what the attorneys are concerned about is that that would be considered, paying to play. And this is where we have had, unfortunately, even though we've tried to discourage any idea that it's an investment or what have you, somebody went out, despite everything we've been saying on all of our webinars, and if this person is here, I love you, I'm not going to say your name, but I know you come to my webinars, and I know you've heard me say, do not go borrow money. And this person borrowed money and borrowed not a few, okay? So those are some of the differences there, okay? Someone says the money from all of the bonuses is coming from promoters. Is that okay? Let me tell you. Let me tell you one of the sad challenges that we now know is represented by the revenue sharing world. Okay, here's one of the sad challenges. Everybody makes money. Everybody makes money. That's a problem. Now, obviously, that's what we all want, right? But here's the problem when it comes to U.S. regulatory rule. Okay, you take USANA, you take Visalis, you take Mona V, you take any of the, some of the major, you take Amway, you take Melaleuca, you take all these major companies, okay, New Skin, so on and so forth. What happens is when a person joins and they purchase a product package, even though they sign the affiliate agreement, for the most part, now I don't know how it works programmatically, but for the most part, what happens is until that person ever earns the first check, while they are an affiliate on the books of the company, for our regulatory purposes, they show us just a customer because the affiliate hasn't made a check yet. They haven't earned a commission yet. So you take a company, for instance, that has a binary model where you recruit one on the left and you recruit one on the right before you start earning team commissions. Now, typically, if you recruit the first person that purchases the package, you would get a commission. But how many binary companies out there where the person joined, got on auto ship, but they never recruited a person. They didn't recruit one person. They didn't make one sale to a customer. Even though they signed the affiliate agreement, guess what they show up as in the company's books? They show up as merely a customer or preferred customer. Now, the moment they get their first check, they would then be moved over to the affiliate column. So when Mr. Regulator comes and sees them, and let's say there's 100,000 representatives. Now, by the way, everything I'm sharing with you now, I didn't know 2 months ago, 6 months ago. If so, we would have done something different, okay? This has all come about in the last few weeks when we knew that the company had some of these attorneys, and we had a chance to talk with consultants, and then we've had a chance to talk to some folks since then. So you take a company that has 100,000 reps, okay? 100,000 reps, 100,000 rep IDs, affiliate IDs, okay? The average company, if they've got 100,000 reps, maybe 30,000 of them have seen a check. So those other 70,000 reps that purchased the product package and that may be on auto ship, guess what? They don't show up on the books as reps or affiliates because they haven't made a check. They show up as customers. That's how traditional companies have been able to have a great customer to rep ratio and customer revenue to rep generated revenue ratio to appease the U.S. regulators, because a great number of their folks never made a check. Now, what was the difference with revenue sharing? Everybody made money. You purchased bids. You purchased lifestyle dollars. You purchased Jubi Bucks. No, I said bids, lifestyle dollars, because there were other companies that had those names. You purchased Jubi Bucks in our system. You placed it. You gave them away. You got points. You placed an ad. You earned. Now, virtually everybody was earning. So we wouldn't have had the luxury of saying, hey, Mr. Regulator, take a look at this. Yes, we got 100,000 folks, but only 30,000 of them have ever seen a check. And even if you never requested eCash, even if you had your system set to 0 so that all of your reward was going back to Jubi Bucks, that's still considered earnings. It's still considered revenue from a regulatory standpoint. I don't like it. It ticks me off. There's a whole lot of things about the U.S. government that ticks me off if you ain't figured it out by now. But he's bigger than me. I don't like the fact he might be listening to my phone call right now. Don't like it. I don't like the fact that he might be looking at my keystrokes on Skype and Facebook. But he's bigger than me. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I was the one leading the charge. You want to call this a Ponzi? Look at Social Security. That's the Ponzi. But you know what? He's bigger than me. So, Alan, hopefully that helps you understand. And again, hopefully this now helps you understand why the model has to be changed. And if you go to another company that has the same model, then it's just going to be a matter of time that either that thing gets shut down or what have you. So, since that's the case, what I'm admonishing you to do is to say, you know what, this new Jubi comp plan, that is sexy. I can make a lot of money. Might not be good at recruiting. I'm not going to use that as a crutch. I'm going to learn how to connect with folks. I'm going to learn how to build a following, and eventually I'm going to be making money. I'm going to be in my max team, and I'm going to be making 1K, 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 17 times, boom, 10K. That's what I hope you consider, okay? All right, let's see what else we have here. Joe's asking, what do I suggest you do if you got Jubi Bucks between now and tomorrow? Give them away or wait until other customers? I don't know how that is going to impact or not impact your quality score. I really don't know what the quality score really is going to mean as everything takes place, because what I know is going to happen is, and I don't know where this stands programmatically. Right now the programming is to make sure that the the bonuses pays out the way it's supposed to. Testing is going on all of that right now, so on and so forth. But programmatically, what's going to wind up happening eventually is, let's say you give someone $100, you got 100 Jubi bucks. You have someone register to claim 100 Jubi bucks. Well, it's not going to deduct from your Jubi buck column until the Jubi bucks are used. So let's say that your customer that you give 100 Jubi bucks uses 63 Jubi bucks. Well, then what would happen is, then the 63 Jubi bucks would be deducted from your 63 Jubi buck inventory, and then you would be given the corresponding points at that time. So what I would be inclined to do, someone is asking, so what do I do with the Jubi bucks I have now? I only have till tomorrow. What I'd be inclined to do is, give those Jubi bucks away. Now we want to make sure we're giving those away to people that may actually use them. All right, so don't do anything that you shouldn't be doing. Don't create fake accounts and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, if you can get a hold of your mom, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your aunt, your email following, your Twitter following, and say, hey, get some Jubi bucks, by all means. Now again, if you give away those Jubi bucks, might it impact your quality score? Yes, but I don't really know what that means right now, and unfortunately I can't answer what that means on your quality score. But I tell you what, if you gave away the Jubi bucks and it impacted your quality score, but you still get the points, then you could always come back and work on improving your quality score. And Joe, in your case, I don't know what your case is in terms of how many Jubi bucks you have. It doesn't have to be an all or nothing proposition. So for instance, let's say you've got 1,000 Jubi bucks, and you've got the ability to give away 1,000 Jubi bucks, but you want to keep some Jubi bucks in reserve for once all the new enhancements are programmed down and so on and so forth for other customers. Well, if you could have the capacity to give away 500, and maybe keep 500 in your reserve Jubi buck column. Now, one thing I'm starting to pick up, if you'll remember several weeks ago, our president said that our daily reward would be paid only in eCash. Our daily reward would be paid only in eCash. I think there's been some clarity on that. I don't think it's a problem paying the daily reward in eCash and in Jubi bucks. I think what the issue is those Jubi bucks being commissionable, and then those Jubi bucks being able to immediately simply be given away to generate Jubi points. So with that being said, I think the company may still pay in cash, eCash, and in Jubi bucks, because they're eventually not going to commission out on Jubi bucks. We'll probably see that coming to an end in the next few days as the new enhancements takes place, and that's a regulatory matter. We got to stop the commissioning on Jubi bucks. I don't like it, but we got to stop it. And then the other thing is, going forward, any Jubi bucks you have, all right, any Jubi bucks you have, as you give them away, you won't get the point until the customer uses those anyway. So I think with those two things, that handles what that regulatory concern happened to be. Okay, so I think we're still going to get paid in a combination of eCash and Jubi bucks. I believe we're still going to get a combination of eCash and Jubi bucks. Now, as it relates to the sale of the new packages, that's going to eCash. So if you earn a $50 commission because someone purchased a $549 package from you, if you earn a $100 commission because someone purchased a $1250 package from you, you earn a $1,000 bonus in your Max team. You earn a 25% match because someone you personally enrolled got a bonus. You earn a 25% match because someone in your Max team got a bonus. You get a $10,000 bonus. All of those are going to go straight to eCash. There's not going to be a breakdown of some goes to eCash and some goes to Jubi bucks. Okay? Give me a moment. Walter's asking, do you need to have an Emerald or Diamond subscription, or Diamond rank, I should say, to get paid on the lower levels in the unilevel? That's not going to change in terms of your ability to earn in the unilevel. So I think what is going to change is, instead of, I've referred to it as a subscription, a Max Bucks subscription, I think that's going to go away, and instead it's simply going to be your auto ship. And if you have less than $50 on auto ship, at least $15 but less than $50 on auto ship, that would give you you'd have a Jade rank. If you've got $50 but less than $100 on auto ship or in customer sales or what have you, that would give you your Ruby rank. And same thing with Emerald, at least $100 but less than $200. That's going to give you your Diamond rank, so on and so forth. And speaking with the president on yesterday, I believe it was, the 80, 85, 95, 105 days looks like that's going to stay the same on the new points generated beyond this, what's grandfathered in. We've got those points that will be grandfathered, but then any points you earn thereafter will be under the regular schedule based on your rank. Also, your rank is going to determine how many levels of pay that you earn in the unilevel, and it will also impact what levels you pick up in terms of the 10% matching residual. Now, let me just hit that for just a moment, because the bonuses is what's going to help propel the company with attracting leaders, attracting people that want to get some of the quick bonus money, all right? But what's going to really sustain your income, my income, and even that of the company is going to be the residual income. Now, with that being said, to me, I know it's going to take time to build up, but to me, one of the biggest enhancements of our compensation plan is the fact, give me a moment, is the fact that we're going to get these matching residuals. Now, let's make sure we understand this. Okay, so the packages, the 549 and the 1250 packages, they will pay primarily in the bonus structure. You're going to get a $50 bonus if you personally enrolled a 549 package or someone purchased a 549 package from you. You're going to get a $100 bonus if they purchase a 1250 package from you. Okay. Then there's going to be 25% matching bonuses paid to the enroller of the enroller's enroller, and then paid to the Max team leader. So, for instance, if someone earns $50, a total of 50% is going to be paid in matching bonuses to either that person's enroller and then to that person's Max team leader, who could be the same person. Okay. Same thing on the $100 payout. There's going to be at least $50 paid in matching bonuses, 25 of that going to the enroller's enroller and then to that person's Max team leader. Again, could be one and the same. The $1,000 bonuses, the $10,000 bonuses, that's what's going to attract a lot of people to our model. Okay. Now, on the back end, the regular customer sales, yes, that package included products, but on the back end, people are still going to set up an auto ship. So a new person is going to come aboard. They're going to choose either 549 or 1250. Then they're going to set up their auto ship. If a person doesn't have 549, doesn't have 1250, are they still going to join? Should they still join? The answer to that is yes. The answer to that is yes. And they still go on and place an order. They still go on and place an order that can be shipped to them right away, in which case that's going to go in, I believe that's going to go, that should go, let me see. I think the customer acquisition bonus, does that still remain? I don't remember if the customer acquisition bonus, there's a bonus for the first time a customer orders under our existing system. I don't remember if that's still there under the new system. But let's say that once either the customer or the promoter has their auto ship for the, the next month, that volume is going to go in the unilevel. Okay, which is where it's been going anyway, all right? So that part hasn't changed at all. Now, where we have a major enhancement is that if you have people on your 5th level, then you're going to match the residual income that any of them on your 5th level make. So they will have their own unilevel structure. They could earn through 8 levels. There's going to be an infinity bonus added, so they actually could earn below 8 levels. They've got to qualify to get there. You've got to build a team and build some, I won't say build a team, but you got to build some group qualifying volumes, so on and so forth. All right. So if someone makes $100 residually, and then on your 5th level, you get a 10% match. You pick up another $10 on top of what you would have made in your own unilevel. If you get 243 people averaging $100, they're making $24,000 between themselves. You're getting a 10% match. That's $243. Now, here is where I want you to stick this thing out, okay? Because with the Jubi Suite, I know we haven't talked a lot about the Jubi Suite as of late because we've been dealing with all the other stuff, but with the Jubi Suite, and when we start cranking out these packages and people starting to come with these packages, then people are going to start strategically placing in their various unilevels. And many folks are going to start to place a little bit lower than maybe what they would have, so they can get to that 5th level quicker, knowing they get a 10% match and anyone on the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th level. I don't know all the qualifications to reach down to all the matches on the 8th level. It may, don't quote me on this, I saw it, but I don't remember it well enough. It may be based on your rank. It may be based on jade or ruby or emerald or diamond. Don't quote me on that. When I saw what I saw, and it's been a few days now, I thought, oh, that's not, oh, okay, yeah, people can get that match pretty easily. Again, so if it was something else, don't beat me up, but it's not that difficult, okay? Give me a moment. Bear with me. Okay, hey Dallas. Someone is basically saying that they were enrolled by someone in Jubi, and the person that they're enrolled by, maybe even their person that was enrolled in Jubi, is not really all that active. Not sure if they're really paying attention or what have you. They're not really endorsing or promoting the company. Let me tell you what's going to happen, Dallas. What's going to happen is the company's going to say, okay, we've got the packages ready, and there's going to be about a 2-week period where people have the opportunity to go out and start to build their A team and hopefully go on and get to the max team standpoint. So let's say, let's make sure that we understand this. Bear with me. Let's see if that works. No, that doesn't work. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Let's say, all right, so everybody, you know, is already starting their A team, right? And let's say that you, right now, you go out, you personally enroll 2 new folks that purchase a package, or you have a couple of folks that maybe had not upgraded prior. They joined you, they registered, but they're just a lead because they never upgraded. If they upgrade, those are going to count, those 2 are going to count for your A team, okay? Now, let's, should I do this one? So they're going to count for your A team, all right? And let's say that these folks right here, you know, they come aboard, this person here comes aboard. Well, I'll tell you what, let's say, I'm messing up. Stop, erase, forget everything I just said. Okay. By the way, I can't wait for my my faith observance this weekend because I am really tired. I've been going at it. Yesterday, I was probably on the phone from 10 in the morning to 2 in the morning, and I remember taking about 2 10-minute breaks. That's all fine. That's all cool. Just in connecting with leaders, making sure they understand. Let's go back. Forget everything I just said. Let's say this is your A team. Forget that this is what we show as your max team. This is your A team. Okay. All right. So this is you. This is you. And you already have some folks that are in your organization. You already have some folks in your organization, 2, 3, 20, 30, so on and so forth. Now, let's say you go on in the green and you enroll 2 new folks so you can have your 2 packages. And again, these people were already a part of your team, so they're considered part of your A team, all right? And this guy here, he enrolls 1, 2, 3, 4 packages himself. All right, or maybe he enrolls 1, that enrolls 1, that enrolls 1, that enrolls 1. This line here represents 1, 2, 3, 4 sales. These 2 greens represent 6 sales. Now, this lady and this dude were already in your team or your A team, but since there are already 6 sales here and those 6 sales came in first, what that's going to do is make you a max team leader. Now, all of these other people, let's say they were also in your existing team. All right, and they got 1 or 2 sales during that period, and somebody else got a sale, but none of them so far have gotten to their max team. These folks right here so far are not in their max team. They haven't gotten their full 6 sales. You are a max team leader. What the system is going to do is those first 6 sales are going to be registered to your A team. Those first 6 sales are going to be registered to your A team. But any of the sales of these other folks that are not at max team, as they get sales, guess what? That's going to be credited to your max team. Now, let me answer Dallas's question here, because Dallas's question is, my enroller, I don't see my enroller being active. And I like my enroller and I love my enroller, but I don't see them being active. I don't see their enroller being active. I like my enroller and I love my enroller, but I don't see them being active. So who's going to help me? How am I going to get help? Well, let me tell you, I know who your enroller is, Dallas. I know who your enroller's enroller is, and I enroll the enroller, okay? I am going to get my 6 sales. I will be a max team leader. If those folks don't, start promoting the business and what have you, and that time frame comes, then what would happen is I would be a max team leader. They would not. You would be attributed in my max team because I personally enrolled one dude that enrolled another dude that enrolled you. And so what would then happen is, hey, I know I'm going to be either their max team leader or your max team leader regardless, because I'll have my 6 sales. I've already got my lined up. So I'll know that I'll be your max team leader regardless. And so any assistance that you're going to need to build your team, guess what? I'm your max team leader. I have a tremendous financial incentive to help you build your A team and your business. Why? One, because I love you and I do it anyway. But 2, from a financial perspective, if you are going to be in my max team, which I anticipate would happen if those other 2 don't get max team qualified during this time period, that I would get a 25% match as you start to build your business. So I've got a tremendous financial incentive, and this max team concept is brilliant because what it does is the personal enroller has a tremendous incentive to work with you. They get a 25% match. The max team leader has a tremendous incentive to work with you. They get a 25% match. So if you have a personal enroller that's kind of disengaged, give me just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my son calling me. Give me just a moment. Yes. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. My sons were out and about, and as they have been told to do, if they go somewhere other than where they told me they were going, it's to call Daddy and make sure Daddy knows where they are. Okay, so that really goes for anyone in here. If your personal enroller is not engaged, then chances are they're not going to become a max team leader during that that period. The company's going to say ready, set, go, and it's going to give us about a 14-day period to get sales so that it can determine who's going to be Max Team Leader qualified. And so it doesn't matter who enrolled you. Hopefully they get engaged. I'd love for them to be engaged. I'd love for them to be your Max Team Leader. If that doesn't happen, then you're going to be able to see who your Max Team Leader is. And so everybody in the company is maybe with I was not personally enrolled. I'm not linked directly to the company, but other than maybe, you know, the couple layers of leadership that I have above me, virtually everybody in the company is going to have a Max Team Leader somewhere. And if they don't, ladies and gentlemen, you know how we are. I don't care who your enroller is. I don't care where you fall in the company. I don't even care whether or not you're in my organization, because you may not be. We're going to do everything we can to help you build your business, because we know the laws of the universe. Okay, so Dallas, don't worry about that, buddy. Okay. By the way, I have been talking with not your personal enroller, but your enroller's enroller, and so he knows what's going on. Now, whether or not he's going to engage, I couldn't tell you. I can't speak for him. Michael Hodges, you're absolutely right. Michael said the money is in the list. The money's in your following. Absolutely right. Okay. Give me a moment. Someone was asking, okay, so if we need to keep the regulators off our backs by trying to have at least 50% of our revenues coming from customers, aren't the 1K and the 10K bonuses going to entice us to recruit more promoters who will be buying the 549 and 1,250 packs? And these packs will count as promoter revenue, and therefore make it harder for the company to have at least 50% of their revenues come from customers. Well, Joe, I think what's going to happen, this is what I think you're going to see. I think you're going to see, yes, there's going to be a lot of folks that come that are business builders. Okay, there's going to be a lot of people that's going to come that are business builders, and they're going to come for the $1,000 bonuses and the $10,000 bonuses, and then they're going to recruit a lot of people that aren't business builders, and a lot of those business builders aren't going to recruit anybody, and may not get and may not even do the things to get points. And that's just the reality. Is not everybody wants it as bad as you and me. But what we also know that's going to happen, there is a product that the company has not talked about. I talked with it's been in a covert test. And I talked to someone who's been in the testing mode of this. You know, people are asking, okay, we got skincare, but other companies have skincare. We got weight loss, but other companies have weight loss. Energy has I've probably heard the greatest testimonies about our energy product. But this is what someone told me, and I know this person very well, so I trust when they tell me this. They said, you know, I've been testing this product, and I took it to a group of folks, and I had them to test the product. And what they said to me, they said, this is the wow product. This is that product that we could build. Yes, and I'm not even talking about coffee here. This is something totally different the company hasn't even talked about, hasn't even mentioned on a webinar. And what the person said is, this is a wow product. Now, because I know what the product is, now I've not used it myself, but I know that if people use it and they get the results that I'm hearing folks are getting, that is a product that we could build the entire company on in the U.S. at least from a product standpoint, and it is highly, 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 highly consumable. I'll just leave it at that, and I do know that the company's already ordered a shipment of the product. Again, one of the reasons it probably hasn't been discussed at this point is because of all the changes and transitions and so on and so forth, and then, you know, not wanting to confuse the field because we got coffee coming and we got this. And by the way, I've not gotten a chance to cut the video that I meant to cut for Jubi Vacations. So let me do this real quickly. Let me show you real quickly Jubi Vacations, what you need to do for those of you who've been waiting for Jubi Vacations. Give me just a moment. Oh, crud. I'm sorry, that wasn't very professional for a webinar, was it, saying crud? We have to come off in just a few moments. Let me show you this real quickly on Jubi Vacations. I've spent most of the last couple of days connecting with some of the mentors that we want to bring to the table and hammering out details for them, because some of them, again, could charge quite a bit of money for their knowledge because they've been successful with it. And so we want to have it so that it doesn't cost you anything. We'll develop, we'll have a training portal, and then ultimately, as people come and join you, then they'll have access to that training portal so that they can get the training from the mentors. Give me a moment. I've signed into the wrong one. Okay, real quickly, I'm going to show you what you need to do to be able to access Jubi Vacations. Okay, what you're going to do in your back office, you're going to click where it says Max Bucks, and spend Max Bucks. And let's assume that you've got Max Bucks to spend. If you've got Max Bucks to spend, then you can come down here and you can purchase either a single use, a double use, or triple use Jubi Vacation card. Single use, single use means that you can book one vacation. Double use means you can book 2 vacations. Triple use means you can book 3 vacations. Okay. All right. So let's say, I'm not going to go through the whole process because I want to do a training video on this. But let's say there's 279 Max Bucks here, and if I were to go for one of the triple use cards, I click here. Uh-oh, did I do it? Okay. All right. So I would come here. I would say apply Max Bucks. I'd go next. And then what it's going to do is going to take me to a page for me to register my profile for Jubi Vacations. That's the process you need to go through. You went to Max Bucks. From Max Bucks, you clicked on Shop. And then from there, you chose which card you wanted, and you clicked on Complete Order, and then you could apply Max Bucks to it. Give me a moment. You could apply the Max Bucks for the purchase. Apply your Max Bucks, and then it's going to take you to a page where you complete your profile. Now, I'm being told that once you complete your profile, and the programmer didn't get back with me. They had to check with the head programmer, but they didn't get back with me. The script runs either once an hour or once a day. I don't remember which. So let's say on the worst case, once a day. So it may take a day before you have your, I think you're going to get like an ID number, and you'll need that ID number to set up your profile. So you may get that, and it may not have that ID number right away, so you may have to come back in a day or so to set up your profile. Once you've done that, then you'll be able to log into Jubi Vacations. You'll be able to see what the inventory is. If you want to book a vacation right then, you can. If you don't want to book a vacation right then, you can always come back. You can go out into the future if you want to book something a few months from now, see what the inventory is in the part of the world that you want to go. I'm also told that it is live in the customer portal for customers. However, if you go to your shopping portal, where you are a promoter, if you click on shopping and it takes you to your shopping portal, for a promoter, this is not live. I am told, however, by programming that for a customer, when the customer logs into their back office, this is live. So then a customer can use Jubi Bucks to purchase a 1 or 2 or 3 use vacation. So those of you that have given Jubi Bucks to maybe friends or people that you know, and maybe they haven't ordered product, hey, maybe connect with them and say, hey, go back to your portal and at least purchase this this vacation membership, where you could book 1 vacation, 2 vacations, or 3 vacations. And I saw pricing as low as $399 for a 8-day, 7-night vacation. Now, I will tell you some of the inventory for July, as I looked at places like Orlando, Florida, since that's a heavily traveled area. Some of the inventory for places like July and August is not as much inventory, because a lot of those places have already been booked. If you go out a little bit further, you'll probably find a lot more inventory. But Jubi Vacations is ready. The company has not, we've not announced it on any of the webinars, primarily because we've had all the other stuff to do. My game plan was to have a video just to walk you through the process. Just haven't had a chance to do that just yet. All right, guys, listen, I love each and every one of you, and so does our global leadership team. You're going to be hearing from more voices. You'll hear, obviously, you'll hear from Queen Twitter. You'll hear from Paul. You'll hear from Jeff. You'll hear from Amber. There'll be other folks. You'll hear from Corey. There'll be other folks that we'll bring to the fold. There's going to be some of these folks that may do some trainings for us that may not even be in Jubi, but it will be generic. So it'll be generic training so that we'll be able to provide value for anybody in any different business. So imagine now being able to go to Facebook and say, hey, I can show you how to get an unlimited amount of highly targeted leads because you learned some skill sets from Corey, or you learned some skill sets from Paul. And then they say, well, how do you do that? And there'll be a whole process that we'll kind of walk them through. But, you know, what's going to wind up happening is they're going to get into your list, okay? And then, you know, again, a lot of stuff that we have to do to put all this together, but we're not going to wait till it's perfect to at least begin to put some of these ideas in motion. All right, we're going to get to the next webinar, which is the Income Opportunity webinar at JubiRevWebinar.com. That's going to start at 9 p.m. I'm going to take a little break since I haven't. Have I had a break today? I think I had one. Yeah, I did. I had a 10-minute break today, 10-15-minute break. I take a little break until that webinar. We'll see you then. We love each and every one of you. Let's change the world together, starting with yours. We're committed to your success. JubiRev, Jubi Max, not just a company, it's a movement. Good night, everyone.
So that's it for now. If you have any questions, please get back to the person that shared this video with you, or you can send a support ticket from your JubiRev back office. Thank you. We look forward to hearing of your success.